So, why did they give some loser in Toronto the name of a famous explorer, Drake? Very interesting, you should ask. Because this has been done several times over with several different celebrities, several different event names, several different names in general. So, I'm going to break it down a little bit. I won't make this too long, I'm going to keep it short. Drake is an explorer. Drake is a renowned explorer. Sir Francis Drake, not exactly a nobody here, people. Sir Francis Drake, he was knighted, was an English explorer and privateer best known for his circumnavigation of the world in a single expedition between 1577 and 1580. Those are the years 1577 and the year 1580. This was the first English circumnavigation and second circumnavigation overall. He is also known for participating in the early English slaving voyages of his cousin, Sir John Hawkins and John Lovell. Having started as a simple seaman, in 1588 he was part of the fight against the Spanish Armada as a vice admiral. So Sir Francis Drake over here, Drake as he's known, is a pretty renowned guy. He's not a nobody, right? He's got awards, Knight Bachelor in the year 1581. You know, his nickname is El Drake, the dragon. That's probably in Latin. So, during 1563 to 1596, this guy was about it. This guy was about that action. This guy was out here sailing them seas, right? Caribbean Sea, all type of seas, right? So, this guy, not only was he a top seaman and knighted, but he was also somewhat of a, how should I put this? He would commandeer assets, right? Commandeer. So basically, he had, by today's money, he was estimated worth of $162 million, which is nothing to sneeze at, Mr. Francis Drake. This guy was a legend. At an early age, Drake was placed into the household of a relative, William Hawkins, a prominent sea captain in Plymouth. In the year 1572, he set sail on his first independent mission, privateering along the Spanish Sea. Drake's circumnavigation began on the 15th of December, 1577. He crossed the Pacific Ocean, and then an area of exclusive Spanish interest, and laid claim to New Albion, plundering coastal towns and ships for treasure and supplies as he went. He arrived back in England on 26th of September, the year 1580. Elizabeth I, this would be Queen Elizabeth I, awarded Drake a knighthood in 1581, which he received aboard his galleon, the Golden Hind, right? So, this guy has a very interesting story, right? And if you look into Mr. Drake, he actually was exploring around Antarctica, right? And a lot of people don't like to talk about that certain continent that I won't say too many times on a YouTube video because, you know, Susan, she's gone. There's no more Susan at YouTube. So I don't know. I don't have any more pull at YouTube. I don't know who's running the show these days, right? But long story to say, Mr. Drake was a prominent figure. And he did some interesting explorations, right? And this man, Mr. Drake, got a passage that is below Chile, between Chile and the continent that is below Chile, that I've referenced already, that you should know. You should know your geography. You should know which continent I'm referencing. And basically, this is called, they named it the Drake Passage, also known as the Hoses. I don't know if it's Hocus or Hoses Sea. Hoces. I don't know the pronunciation, but it's the body of water between South America's Cape Horn and South Shetland Islands. Very interesting. I wonder where those islands are. So the Drake Passage is considered one of the most treacherous voyages for ships to make. Currents at its latitudes meet no resistance from any landmass, and waves up to 40 feet, giving it a reputation for being the most powerful convergence of seas. So this guy conquered basically the most treacherous sea in the world. All right. So now we're going to get into the fake rapper, aka, I don't even know his name. What's his name? Aubrey, Mr. quote unquote Drake from Toronto, all right, who was not known as Drake, who was known as Mr. Aubrey, right? This guy given the name Drake and ran with it. And I'm thinking, like, how does this come about? How did he end up with this name? Why did he end up with this name? When I tickle my recollection, I think of other individuals that are named after famous people, internationally famous people of history. And I'm thinking, like, could it be possible that the entertainment world, whomever that may be,
I'm not going to say what,
because people like to say they, and then you'll get the people in the comments being like, who's they? Right? So the entertainers, or the head of the entertainment industry of the Western world, decided that it would be a top priority to name some loser aspiring rapper who has ghostwriters out of Toronto after this great, renowned, knighted world explorer and circumnavigator, right? And when I dig into my recollection, I can think of Makonnen. Who was Makonnen? Conquering Lion of Judah, okay, who is also quite a prominent, internationally renowned figure. But for some reason, they decided to name another low-brow, low-tier, non-lyricist musician, I put that in quotes, musician, named I Love Makonnen. Why would they do this? Why would, quote unquote, they, oh, who's they? Why would they do this, right? Because when you go on Google now and you try to Google Makonnen, this nigga pops up. When you go on Google and you try to Google Drake, this lame ass nigga pops up. So ask yourself, is it a coincidence that this keeps happening over and over and over and over and over again? That they dilute the search results for certain things that they don't want certain people accessing. And these videos are not for everybody, right? These videos are for the CON, I'm going to make myself look stupid now, CONSCIOUS people, right? CONSCIOUS people. Can't say certain words because my tongue gonna get flagged, right? But the people that know, right? And I'm just putting this stuff out there so that it tickles the imagination of the individuals that have a hunch as to what, quote unquote, they are up to. Because they're up to something. I don't know what it is, but they're up to something. And the Google search results, like, yo, I was telling my boy the other day, you cannot search for a 2009 Gucci Mane track. Because if you type those lyrics into Google, you'll be getting 2017, 2019, 2020 Gucci Mane. I'm not trying to find that. I'm trying to find that gutter Gucci Mane. You know, when Gucci Mane was Gucci Mane, not when he became signed to whoever, right? Gucci Mane. But if you type these lyrics in and you write the lyrics and you write Gucci Mane's song, it's not even going to hit on none of his old stuff. Similarly to how these search results of these prominent figures in history are diluted. I know the Gucci Mane reference is not related to a prominent historical figure, but it's just to give you the example, just to give you an idea of how new search results, because it gets so many hits, are seen as more relevant. And they're put at the top of Google. So you can't find them old Gucci Mane tracks from 2006 and 7 because you got all kinds of trash, all kinds of blogs, all kinds of tweets, all kinds of this and that of people tweeting about 2020 Gucci Mane, 2019 Gucci Mane, 2018 Gucci Mane. So it is near impossible when the average person Googles Drake that they're going to get a hit on Francis Drake. they gonna get a hit on this bitch ass nigga from Toronto.